Good morning. My name is Rick White from 180 Biz, and this is my just one thing. We've been dealing with comebacks. What I want to talk to you about is the drive, right? How easy it is to avoid comebacks. And one of the ways is communication and documentation. That's going to be a big deal. But the other thing I want you to think about is this expectation of perfection. It's unfair. Is it a goal? Is it something to strive for? Absolutely, it is. We're human beings. We make mistakes. Things are fallible. Parts break, parts are bad. Communication goes sideways. That stuff all happens. All we can do is put things in place that allow us the potential of catching the issues. So, expectation for perfection, I don't want that to be an expectation. I want you to strive for perfection. I want you to strive for perfection and hit your best. I want you to do your best every single day. What I want to go from is setting those things up, and how do you do that? It's all about quality control. So one of the easiest ways to quality control a vehicle is to drive it. Yes, to road test it, but here's the problem I see. Number one, your techs are driving the vehicle, but they're just getting in and driving the vehicle. The radio's on, they're thinking about 10 million different things, and they're going through the motions of it. What you want them to do, first of all, is to drive the vehicle twice. Number one, take every vehicle that you can drive for a ride before you do anything to it. Why? Because two reasons. Number one, you want to find any additional needed repairs that are going on. Okay. So you want to be aware of those so that you can talk to your client about them. But the other thing is you want to get a kind of a baseline on how the vehicle's running. How's it acting? You want to be able to know that up front. That way, there, when you're driving it the second time, you know the vehicle is running at least as, the reality is there's so many times where a tech will drive a car after they've fixed it, and all of a sudden they'll come back and say, hey, but I noticed this. Was it doing it before? And nobody knows because nobody drove it. That's wrong. Drive the vehicle twice. That's two things. Now, the second thing I want to talk to you about with drive, and this is a big deal, is get your techs to understand the intention of the test drive. I don't want them just to drive a vehicle. Get it so that your technicians are feeling the car. Do you understand what I'm saying? The radio's off. They're going for a ride. They're listening for noises. They're feeling vibrations. They're getting a really good connection to the vehicle as they're driving it. When we do it before we work on the vehicle and then we do it after we're done on the vehicle, now you have a great quality control process where you know what it's going to be like. Now, I have some shops, they have advisors and or the owner that drives the car afterwards as well, because you've got to work through this process so that you're catching things, right? That might be looking work over on a new tech, just to make sure that everything's put back right. If you've had problems with a tech, quality control, before you let the car down, have someone give it a once over and make sure that everything's right. Sometimes your client is going to be making the final road test. There's going to be times when you fix a check engine light and you got to get all the monitors to run. And a lot of times shops don't either road test it for the monitors or they don't, they want the client to, and that's great. But make sure you document the fact that the client's making the final road test, that you ran it as best you could, and that they're going to be making the final road test. And if there's any issues at all, please let us know. And then follow up with them. So, and that should be part of your quality control process as a follow up, making sure they're happy with the work, making sure they're happy with the way they were treated. That's a big deal. But then the last thing you got to have is accountability. Who's accountable for the quality control? I've seen shops hire quality control officers and everything like that. I'm not a big fan of that because technicians all of a sudden feel like they don't have to worry about the quality control because there's somebody else there. And for me, that's a big issue. You want your technicians to be aware of and in control of and accountable for the quality of the work that they're doing. This is a message that resonates with you. Please share it. There are so many people that need to hear this help and get it. And then the other thing I want to talk to you about is our Shop Owners Roundtable is this Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's an amazing time where shop owners can get together, talk about the issues of the day, and really work on things. Last month, we had, I think, 51 shop owners in there. We would love to have you in there as well. Thank you so much for being here. God bless. Stay safe. Have some fun and go make some money this week. I'll talk to you. Take care. Bye-bye.